Welcome back to Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. We got to jump into voicemails because in the break we have to jump in a car and then race across town as fast, just reckless driving, and get to a location. We're going to be on location very, very soon. But in the meantime, we're going to do some voicemails. And if you would like to leave us a voicemail, you can do so very easily. Just download our app. Totally free. All of our content's on there, including all of these ACT shows. You can even watch us live via Twitch. And we are live on Twitch right now, twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live. Here we go.
Hey guys, it's Will in St. Cloud. I just wanted to, I was listening to the ACT where you guys were talking about bad tattoos, and I just wanted to tell you a story. My ex-wife got a tattoo, and it was supposed to be a flower. It was supposed to be, I think, a water lily or some garbage. And when she came out, she showed it to me, and the very first thing I said is that it looks like a bloomin' onion from Outback. And I would give her the hardest time about this tattoo for years. I always called it a bloomin' onion for years. And then one day she's like, well, if you give me the money, I'll go get it covered up with something. And I said, okay. So I gave her the money, and she came back after her appointment, and she really got me. She put a plate underneath the flower and a side of Aussie sauce. And it was the best tattoo I'd ever seen after that. All right. Thanks, guys.
Real or fake? Hard to tell, right?
I don't think that your wife had the balls to actually go through with putting a
Real
plate
or fake?
and Aussie sauce next to it. I just, in my experience...
And kudos, though, to the guy before we dump on him too fast. Kudos to him for knowing that it is called Aussie sauce.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know that.
No.
As soon as he said it, I remembered. I'm like, oh, yeah, it is Aussie sauce.
Good story, although...
Decent delivery, to the point, little too much background noise in your call, I will say.
I'll lean towards it being fake, but I do believe the fact that your wife got a tattoo of a water lily and it looked like bloomin' onion, because I think it's a tattoo that my friend in Miami got. Remember I said it looked like a cabbage?
Right.
I think it was a water lily, and it has
lot of water lilies.
It has a very bloomin' onion or a cabbage-like look to it.
Yeah.
And is not.
You shouldn't
not
get
beautiful.
anything that is any flower that resembles lettuce or cabbage or an onion.
Also,
shallot. I would stay away from. And why are you getting the water lily? What is that signifying?
Well, nowadays it just people want to get tattoos. They get in their head, and they just until they get it, it doesn't matter what it is. It just they want it.
So what bet can we do in order to get Butler to actually get a bloomin' onion tattoo?
Well, it just has to be any bet. And then,
Water lilies are important religious symbol in the Hindu and Buddhist traditions, and they are a symbol of enlightenment.
What do they mean in the I went to church when I was younger and I don't care now generation?
I think it's just a pretty flower that girls like to get tattooed.
So here's another reason why I doubt.
Thank you, Sam.
I doubt the story is usually the joke tattoo game is a male dominated.
That's a man's game.
Now,
sorry, ladies, you
Dominated, yes, but it does occur.
It
But
does.
ladies,
it's rare.
That's a man's game. Stay out of the joke
It's usually
tattoos.
like the punk/metal gals that do the joke tats.
Yeah.
A little more harder.
Yeah.
Grew up rough. Daddy issues, alcoholic.
Or they're just in
At me, bro.
to that. I like joke tattoos. I like it.
I love joke tattoos.
I like it way better than inspirational tattoos. I find it more entertaining.
You don't
The story behind it.
You don't
usually,
like
right?
my collection of birds that comes up the side of my abdomen that they land gently in a nest at my neck, and then underneath that it says, in what I think is some sort of Asian letters, never give up.
Yeah.
You don't like that? You're not a fan? I'm not really sure it says never give up, but the guy told me it did. He was like a biker, and he put the Asian letters on me, so he knows.
I always doubt whether that inspiring tattoo actually inspires you every day. Like,
Do you look at it and you're like, oh, good thing I looked at this. I wasn't getting out of bed today.
yeah. I just, I like to make fun of everything.
Yeah, I do
Everybody
too.
can do whatever
I'm glad
they
we're
want.
going back to this. For a
Yeah.
minute there, I was actually being nice to people.
If you get an inspirational tattoo, I'm going to not to your face, but I'll laugh at it.
Let's do it. Let's do another contest. I mean, it's Samantha's favorite contest we ever
Yeah.
did on the BDM page. Let's open up.
Inspirational tattoo.
Let's do
so we
inspiration,
laugh at
and
it?
I will literally open my bowels on your inspirational tattoos.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I am not a fan.
We need someone to kick it off.
Yeah, I don't have any. Butler, you got any inspirational? He doesn't.
Well, I
He
guess
has-
Tom's because it's a dedication to his dad.
Butler's got cool tattoos in the
Yeah,
nerd
that-
world. Butler's got like lasers and spaceships.
We also has the
stormtroopers.
Waterman. What was it? The Waterman symbol?
Was that supposed to be Maybe it was supposed to be inspirational.
It is, he says.
Is it inspirational? It is. Okay.
To
All right,
inspi-
so we got to start the thread with Butler's
Okay,
tattoo.
Butler, you have to start the thread of the BDM group. This is your homework. Put a picture of your tattoo. It's
Yeah.
a Butler's inspirational
Yeah.
tattoo.
This inspires
Yeah.
me to be a waterman. Whatever that is.
A Portuguese waterman.
Yeah. So
What is a Portuguese waterman? I don't even know what that is.
I don't know.
he
My pool
don't
guy's
know
a
either.
Mexican waterman.
Yeah.
Is that the way it works? I don't know what's happening.
There's a Portuguese water dog, Portuguese man of war.
I'm trying to think of other
Portuguese man of porn. That was your friend.
Yeah. The Brazilian.
Yeah.
Felipe. So, he lived in Dubai for a long time.
Yeah.
The flight attendant. What other inspirational tattoos do people
Well,
usually
girls
get?
get 'em a
Religious
lot. Yeah, the
quotes.
onk was big for a while. What's an onk mean?
What is it?
An onk.
What is that?
It's an Egyptian symbol.
What does it look like?
It's kind of. It almost looks like. It looks like a magnifying glass, but like somebody squished the sides. It's like that, and then it goes down.
Yeah.
It's like a cross.
I see.
yes.
I
Yeah.
remember that one. The believe in cursive. That's a big one.
Yeah. Oh, for guys though, let's not forget the guys. I like the one that says "live" and then upside down it says "death."
The Ankh means breath of life.
Breath of life. Do you know the one I'm talking about? Or is it live and then evil? I don't know. There's like different ones where it's like,
Right.
That it does kind of, and I don't want to be disrespectful to people, but I will. It kind of screams of I want a tattoo, and then I'm searching the internet, and then I find something that I can kind of grab a hold of, and then tell people
symbol for peace.
Yeah, you're like, oh, okay, this is inspiration. Like, it's hard to make fun of. Like, if you tell someone like you have that.
Oh
then,
no! If
you
they
know.
tell me I'm not going to make fun of it, I'm making fun of it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I'm
not
not.
gonna make-
I'm
like you said, I'm not going to tell you to your face your inspirational tattoo stinks.
I'm just trying to figure out in their mind how they're calculating all this. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think that. I think you were right when you said it's just impulse. They got something in their mind. They got it done.
Yeah.
I mean, they might have tried to convince themselves that this is inspirational the day they got it, but it just gets forgotten. I forget that I even have tattoos most of the time.
Guaranteed, if you told that person wait 6 months and then after 6 months you could do it 100%,
They won't
they'll
do it.
never do it, right?
Yep.
I
Just like suicide.
I told my wife she wanted to get Lena's paw prints tattooed.
Ooh, right below her breast?
Yeah.
Like Eve?
Yeah.
On her-
Eve!
on her
What
big
happening?
frecklers. or
Oh,
something.
look up Eve. Oh, I am pro
I don't know.
that.
I don't
want
know.
your wife to
I
get
don't think it
two
was
On the
boobs.
frecklers.
paws on her frecklers.
Yeah.
And then right here underneath the boobs, like, because you write things underneath her boobs,
Yeah.
she's got to do something about the, like, always keep snapping flies or something.
Oh, that's right. I forgot that Eve married a British billionaire.
Nah, she's fine.
Yeah, I think they got a divorce.
Just get it in cursive. Lena's favorite drug, Trimadol. The pain medication that she would chatter her teeth crazy to get every morning. She like
Give
a
me my
junkie.
Trimadol.
I mean, she would have done things to me for that Trimadol.
Whoa,
I know. I
whoa,
saw it in
my
her
God.
eyes, her
Don't-
cloudy eyes.
What do you mean?
I'm
the
just
old
saying,
peanut butter?
She was addicted.
Yeah.
She was on it for like a year and a half.
Look, man, I will eat some peanut butter off your body for that Trimadol.
Anyway, I told my wife, I was like, just wait 6 months and then you 100%. I'm
You
not
talked
telling
her out of it.
I didn't talk her out of it.
You let her talk herself out of it.
I just said, just make me a deal. Wait 6 months after Lena dies, and then get whatever tattoo you want. I don't care if you get, Mike Tyson face tattoo of Lena. I don't,
Right.
whatever you want.
You don't
Just
care about that?
Give it.
I think if Andrea got a Mike Tyson
Well,
face tattoo, I
let's
would
think
divorce
about
her.
this. Lena was a black dog. If
Yeah.
half of her face was black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Full
that'd be-
Mike Tyson on top of your face. You can do whatever you want. Just give it 6
Wait,
months.
if you
Guess what?
Almost blackface.
Guess who didn't get a
That's
tattoo?
the ultimate racist dedication is to get your whole face tattooed black, and you're like,
Whoa.
I am dedicated to blackface.
Well, it depends if it's a tribute to Mike Tyson. That's still bad.
That's still weird for a woman, a realtor, to get a Mike Tyson tribute tattoo.
Very
odd.
Detrimental to
It'd be
her,
hard for her to sell a house.
for her business.
All right.
Although maybe popular in certain communities.
you never know.
As a novelty, maybe?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know. No, something tells me she'd have to change jobs, and she'd probably be working at Infinite Mushroom.
Hey guys, it's Zach from Ohio. How you doing? I've moved.
Oh, this was Zach asking how many times we moved.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
I kind of, sorry, Zach. I should have
Yeah.
deleted that one.
We've come to the conclusion that around 6 or 7 times is, for our mean age, is about how many times people move from their house or like childhood home.
Yeah, absolutely. 6 to 7 is about right.
So somebody posted on the BDM page about trying to get their kids to switch from like liquid medicine to like swallowing pills. And my wife, I was like, I'll call into the show. It's interesting. My wife is terrible at swallowing pills. Like the tiniest little pills, she has to have like a giant glass of water, and she got to tip her head back. And I could just throw like, a bunch of giant multivitamins in, no water, just swallow them. And then I started thinking, is that because I got a wet
snorted.
mouth? It just slide down there
That is true.
like a water slide. Or am I in the minority? And a lot of people have trouble swallowing pills. Anyway, you guys know anybody that has trouble swallowing pills? Anyway, love you guys. Later.
The fact that the wettest of mouths will call in to talk about swallowing pills. Of course you can swallow pills. Your whole mouth is der stuka. Your throat
I like
is
it.
a water slide.
You have this revelation. It's like a Manute Bol be like, why am I so good at basketball? I can't figure it out. Slop mouth, it's that reason.
Slop
You-
mouth.
Yeah.
You could swallow anything.
Slop mouth Andy.
It is a common thing, though, where people can't swallow pills.
I can't. I can take.
I bet Slopmouth can do the cinnamon challenge no problem. Like the whole teaspoon.
Oh, my God.
It's so
the
wet.
slop mouth cinnamon challenge.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah, because you have the perfect superpower to
Slop
counteract
mouth.
the
Slop
dry
mouth.
cinnamon.
Go get some cinnamon.
Yeah, yeah, I bet you could do it. You could have a
He
whole.
probably has no cinnamon in his house because it's his mortal enemy.
Yeah, multiple teaspoons of cinnamon will not bother you.
Yeah.
For the normal human, it'll dry our mouth out
This
and then
guy,
we cough.
He's got enough wetness to dredge a beach out.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
me, like I can swallow pills too, and it drives Andrea crazy. Like I can take in the morning, I can take like 10 pills.
Yeah,
like 2 glucosamine.
I've seen you used to have them in a bag.
Yeah, and I just throw them all in my mouth, and normally I have just like a little bit of water, but I can make them all go down. And I hate looking at the people that are like 1 sip and a 1 and a sip.
I do that.
Look at my inspirational tattoo. 1 and a sip.
That's me every morning with my vitamins.
No, I do them all in.
And then they have to put the water and they lean their head back and they're like,
And they're joking.
Well, I'm not
like
that
hold
bad.
their
And
nose.
then the worst is when they're like, and they're like, they spit it out and they're like, I'll try again. I'll try again. Look at my inspirational tattoo. Believe you can do this.
The only pill I've ever had a problem taking is speaking of vitamins. There was a small stint in my life where I decided I was going to take a vitamin, and there's a big.
Wow.
Now I just get in my smoothie, but there's a big dry.
Multivitamin?
Yeah, it was a big
Yeah.
dry multivitamin.
I love the smell of vitamins.
I need mine gel coated. It's just easier.
No, I like
It
them
is
chalky
easier.
dry, and I like them brown and gritty.
I'm
Like
already-
it looks like sandpaper been squished into a ball.
I'm already dehydrated in the morning. I'm anti-slop mouth. I'm dry throat, so the damn thing sticks to my throat as it goes down. I'm like, oh
I don't
god.
know. You spit a lot
Yeah.
for someone
Yeah.
with dry mouth.
I have to.
Well, that's
I have
only
to-
morning.
I have to
I lube
wash
it
your
up,
mic screen though, like
Yeah.
3 times a week.
Yeah. I start yelling and spitting all
Say
over the
it. Don't spray it.
place.
I want the news, not the weather.
Not the best thing to do right now.
No, yeah, you're like the enemy number one.
Yeah.
All right, we have to take a break. Let's all run to the car, and we're going to haul ass to Goldsmith.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. I almost jumped in there, too. Pulled it back really, really fast. No, I'm glad. I'm glad. It scared me, though. I rattled my brain. So you got a new scam there, buddy?
Yeah. I don't know what this is, and I just started getting the scam text.
That's a new thing.
Yeah, I never received that before.
Yeah, but the one that you got, I've received as well. But mine, now you said yours. Well, I'll tell you in a minute.
Yeah. So this is the text I received. This was today at 10:18 a.m., and then it says one of two. I didn't get the second one, but it says from author Arthur Roberts. Then the message is,
and they're trying real hard for an English name, right?
Yeah. Our incredible firm needs people who can volunteer to use their vehicle to advertise its product by putting and then it says 2 of 2 small decal on it for $500 USD weekly.
USD.
Yeah.
Is US dollars.
American
It says reply yes for info, and then parentheses end. So
you got to reply yes.
Yeah, I mean, $500 a week. Who wouldn't do that? 2 small decals? I'm in. Sign me up.
from this incredible firm, and they needed to advertise their product. So anyway, what is this?
Well, James in our Twitch chat room, twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live, he says, I get the, hey, you own this property, you want to sell? I reply yes for the low price of $1 million. He replies that every time.
Should I reply yes? And
Yeah,
see what
reply
it's
Reply
Yes.
yes. Here's I put in the scam that you sent me over, and it says how it works is the message will say that you'll make a couple $100, but when the company, quote, sends you a check, it's for much more than that, a couple $1,000s. They tell you to deposit the check, keep part of it as your share, and then wire the rest to another company that will wrap your car.
See,
So when you reply yes, then they might get your info to send this check.
Well, but hey, if the check is a big check, just deposit the
It's
whole...
not, well, it's not real. It's the old. I send a check and it's fake, and then when you deposit into your account, there's a hole on it.
Right, right.
And then you think the bank
It
took
says
it.
weeks after you wire the money, the check bounces, and your bank tells you it was fake.
Well, if it's weeks after, then why not just cash it?
You can't, because the bank won't cash. Now, actually, they will if you have the funds to take, like, them getting it back, something like that. Anyway, no matter what,
they'll just take the whatever you owe out of your remaining bank account to make things even.
Yes, either that or they won't cash it if it's a check they don't recognize it.
Yeah, Norm is saying
Whatever
if
it
you
is.
cash it and the bank's going to take your money once
Right.
the bounces.
Yeah,
That makes
yeah,
sense,
yeah.
but
And regardless, it's all a scam. But so this is the old, they overpay and then you pay back
They're
some
like,
of
hey,
it.
you get to keep this. This is your portion, and then wire back
Yeah,
the
yeah.
rest to us.
I wonder what the
or to this third
logos.
company.
I wonder what the logos look like that you get wrapped though. Let's
I-
look at the details.
Yeah,
I want
yeah.
to see what the
I wonder-
graphics are. What's
what do
the
they want
product?
on
What's
it?
the fake product?
I wonder if I play into it and I say, like, hey, send me what, I want to approve what are you going to put on the side of my car.
Let's do it to Butler's truck.
They probably don't have. It's all just like a computer program that just sends this out to so many people.
But you would think that people would want to ask for, okay, what do these decals look like?
yeah,
Because a lot of people are particular about, their vehicle. I am. I'd want to see what they look like before I put them on there. I mean, I don't want to put a swastika on there or, a juggalo.
Similar-
like Hatchet Man or something.
similar to the old Craigslist scam, people are blinded by the $500 a month, and they will just be blinded by that and keep hoping that that's real until they're wiring money to some BS.
It's also
and,
interesting that naturally and without influence, we took this scam years ago and made it a reality by telling our listeners we would wrap their cars. So we're no different.
well,
That was a scam too.
no, we did wrap or wanted to. Couldn't find a company to do it.
Yeah, we're finding a company that wraps
Well,
is pretty
Well,
difficult.
we wrapped the grip truck.
yeah.
Yeah, well, that's because we had to use Friends.
Yeah. And
Well, it's a company that wraps cars. We could use them again
Well,
if you really want to.
I think the wrapping your truck was a hookup. Maybe
I
doing
think we
it
got a deal on that.
continually.
Yeah.
Doing it would be a couple thousand a car, and we needed 500 a car, which it just doesn't.
Is that still as popular, the wrapping of the vehicle?
Company vehicles for sure.
Yeah,
But-
like
but
Top
regular-
Shelf. Have
yeah.
you seen the Top Shelf Aquatics van?
Yeah,
Yes.
It's awesome. Like, I love the way it looks. And then you've got, the downside of that is like Seth Petrozelli's Hellcat,
yeah.
where he puts blood splatter all over.
Oh.
It looks insane.
Someone in the chat said that their stupid sister almost fell for this, and they sent her monster wrap photos and some beer.
No, they actually send them the photos. I'm gonna try to
Yeah.
get the photos.
Try and get the photos.
Monst-
You might get some beer too.
Monster wrap photos. They sent her beer?
I
That's
wonder
what
if,
it says.
I wonder if I took too long. Like if you don't instantly reply, then it's already changed.
Then they just wipe you out of the system.
Oh, it's already changed the number, so, because it's all a computer program. Because I replied yes and nothing so far.
It would make sense for them to leave them all open, though.
Right.
Why would you want to?
Well, because you're constantly changing phone numbers because it's a scam and people are reporting it, and then they're trying to shut down
Yeah.
the number. So it's like, I'm sure it's like a number generator. Usually this is out of the country type of thing.
Yeah.
And then it's a computer program that just sits there and sends these texts out to, thousands and thousands of people trying to get one.
Okay, yeah. Melissa in our Twitch chat room, twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live, is saying Monster Energy Drink. That makes sense. So it'd be like Monster Energy Drink and then like some beer company. And then, because they can, it's a lie, so they're just going to send you whatever.
Right.
And the more reputable, the better it probably looks to the unsuspecting person being scammed.
Also, people wear Monster Energy Drink logos all the time that they purchased
Yes.
at the store.
That's correct.
I've
And
always
then-
thought that's a little weird.
And well, it's just like anything else.
Yeah.
People will wear the.
What is
giant-
Monster, when you're wearing a Monster Energy Drink
Yeah,
shirt,
yeah.
what are you, what is that? What
But
are you
you're
saying?
a fan of drinking Monster
You're
Energy?
telling
Is that what
everybody-
you're
Yeah.
telling them?
You-
Or are you?
you-
I think it's more than that. Aren't you telling them that you're like an athletic MMA dude?
Well,
that you go hard in the paint?
I don't know.
It's more that
I drink Monster quite often.
I do too. I like it. I had to stop though. It made me a little kooky.
I think it represents that you are into extremes.
Yeah.
No,
Tap out!
yeah, more of a like.
She said they sent pictures of a car wrapped in Monster Energy drink wrap and also a car wrapped in a beer wrap. And then she followed up with, they probably got Travis to Photoshop the pics.
Oh, got him.
So how far did the sister get?
Yeah.
Sounds like she got to the end.
Well,
Did she get the check?
Yeah, I said
Wire it
well, I
back?
remember she said she almost fell for
Right.
it. It'd be kind of cool to get the check and then just never deposit it and just frame it on our wall.
yeah, 100%.
Put it in our scam.
I'll try to get the check.
Yeah, that's the goal, is to try and make them do the most amount of work and never give them a payoff,
Yeah.
right?
My buddy Logic Man ran into this when he was selling his van online or like a tour bus,
Yeah.
I believe, back up like when he was in a punk rock band, and then he got into it with a scammer, but he was playing into it, just trying to waste this guy's time, you
Yeah.
know. And then they were going to send him the check, and then it was like, I could only get the check written for double the amount, but just send me back the rest. Keep a little for yourself. It was the same thing.
Yeah, same
Yes.
thing.
They've been
Tried
doing
and
this,
true.
forever. And then he finally got to the end of the rope of where he couldn't lead the guy on.
Yeah.
And then he told the guy, he's like, I've been messing with you or whatever. And then the guy got mad and told him that he was going to cast a curse on him.
Oh.
And, yeah. And then
That's how that only works on Samantha.
was-
Samantha literally freak out.
he was going to
Shut
burn
up.
all
Do I gotta put a dead chicken in a four-way stop, or
Yeah,
what's
yeah.
the deal?
He was
Cat eyeball under your couch.
he was going to unleash 1,000 demons. And
Oh man!
he showed me.
Don't unleash 1,000 demons.
He laughed and laughed, and he showed all his friends.
Where do you hold 1,000 demons?
Oh yeah, coffee can. They'll all fit in there.
That old cat food.
Yeah.
Is that still a thing too? That where people feed wet dog food to dogs, and then you put that little green or yellow snappy top on the top of it, and you slide it in there,
Yeah.
and it makes your refrigerator stink like poop.
Yeah, we used to do that with Lena.
Yeah, we did it a little bit with Isley. When he got older, he had to eat the wet dog food because his teeth were falling out like an old biker.
Yeah.
And he only had like the front horse teeth, and it was real sad. Real sad.
He had the dog.
Here's the thing about dogs with dog food. If you give them wet dog food, it comes out wet. If you give them dry dog food, it's more like what we deal with daily if you're healthy.
Yeah.
But wet dog food's just a recipe for diarrhea. I've never been a fan
too
of wet
fatty,
meat. It's
too- yeah.
disgusting.
Plus-
What do old people really eat? It used to be, growing up, it used to be like there used to be a wives' tale. I always thought it was a wives' tale. Could be true. That older people that were poor, like elderly, would buy dog food because it was super cheap, and they would eat that to keep them alive.
I've never heard that.
Yeah, I heard that.
Maybe in like a third world country or like during the Great Depression or something like, but not. I don't think recently because you can get human food
You can get
pretty,
like Spam and Vienna sausages pretty cheap.
maybe even cheaper than dog food. I mean, dog food's not that cheap.
No.
I mean,
No,
like
not good dog food.
A can of tuna, I think, is cheaper than a can of dog food, right?
Maybe
like
comparable.
cheap tuna.
I don't know.
or-
Well, you can buy like cheap wet dog food. Like
Yeah.
if you get like great
50
value.
cents.
Yeah, you can
Yeah,
find.
yeah.
I mean, it's all gonna be like horse noses.
Old Roy.
Old Roy is a big bag of Old Roy. Yeah, I used to see those
yeah.
bags.
But I just think there's cheaper ways to get protein if that's what you're looking for than eating dog food. Even
I was trying to do the old Butler dog food challenge. But none of you guys are picking up on my '90s vibes. I'm laying down
He already
today.
eats cat food every day. Leave him
Yeah,
alone.
can we stop that? I walked in today. I got on my scooter. I rode home to get my lunch. I came in today. It smelled like full-on hot bologna in here.
Plus, he's got extra snappy green beans that he's complaining about.
Yeah, I mean, like, if he's already complaining about it, then it shouldn't be allowed to be warmed up in here.
I don't know why I thought of this,
Put
but
it out in the sun. Let
Yeah,
it
put it at sunbeans. Cook some sunbeans.
In The Walking Dead, even Rick Grimes slapped the dog food out of his son's hands when they were starving.
No spoiled son of mine will eat dog food. Carol.
He was like, in some weird way, he was like, "You're too good for that." It was like, your zombies are trying to kill you. Your son is starving to death.
But
just have him eat whatever calories he
Oh,
can.
Hey.
there's our guest. That's our guest. Hold on, we'll pop him in real quick. Hey, we're in the middle of recording something right now, so
how's it going?
Hey guys,
Hey.
how are you? Yeah, let's just
Good,
do
how
it.
are you?
Let's do this. Is the way we do things now. Hold on.
All right.
Let's just
Yeah,
go
we're
live.
getting
We're
long.
actually live right now, recording the segment
do it
before
live.
you guys. F it. Let's do
right.
it live.
Hey. Sorry for interrupting.
No, you're
No,
great.
no.
You're only gonna see Tom though. So here, let me put this on so everybody can see your beautiful faces. Gang, 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 gang. How you guys doing?
Good.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I'm gonna have to.
But good.
as good as you can be right now.
Of course. I'm going to have to maneuver some things here. So let's take a break. It'll be
Okay.
easier to do that.
All
We'll
right.
take a break. We do have our guest. I'm not going to tell you who it is yet. We'll take a quick break and come back with more A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan right after this.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha, our producers here, and we've been able to pop in with a bunch of guests lately. And it's kind of interesting because, and I think I said this a couple of nights ago on the show, that we could have been doing this with all of our friends that live in different areas of the United States or even the world for that matter, but we're so lazy and stupid that we have not done that.
I just
So-
waited to a pandemic.
Yeah, we had to
do it.
wait till like a national emergency to, check in with these people and actually see their faces and provide our listeners with video, which I think is weird, but I'm kind of glad we're doing it.
Yep, and on Skype with us right now, and they're going to, we just figured out this is the first time we realized that if we have two people on separate Skypes, that they'll just pop in and out based on who's talking, which we didn't even know.
Yeah,
because before this, we'd have one Skype interview, but never had two.
I also like that we have them on the line, and now as two old dads, we're going to explain to them the glory that is Skype.
It's a thing. It's like
Yeah,
a video.
It's a thing, and then we see these girls.
It's like video phone.
Yeah. Well, what's going on, guys? Ladies and gentlemen, and the Toasted Theater, we had them in. When did we have in Samantha?
Last
2 years
Orlando
ago.
Fringe, yeah.
Yeah, the last
2018.
Fringe.
2018, we had them in for Orlando Fringe Festival, which, if there's a lot of Fringe stuff popping off online, and we're going to talk about that right now.
Yeah, and from the Toasted Theater group, they're doing a virtual show tonight called Lauren and Amanda Do It Online.
There it is.
And that's going to happen at 11 p.m. We have Lauren and Amanda with us right now.
Two of the spiciest ladies we've ever met.
How you guys doing?
All right. Happy to have that title.
So
I'm gonna put that in my new bio.
how can people watch the show?
So they can watch it on the Orlando Fringe Facebook page. So we're gonna be doing it on Zoom, and they're gonna be broadcasting the show live to their Facebook page.
So are you guys actually doing the show live, or is it a live to tape scenario, or is it completely happening as people watch it?
It's totally live. It's going to be a lot like this, actually. So we have a guest that's coming on our show, and we're just going to be chatting, kind of taking them through an interview a lot like this, except that we'll be specifically focusing on how sex is going for all of us during quarantine.
Gotcha.
There it is.
Doing
pretty good for me, I gotta say.
The only
Actually, we did want to ask you guys. We'll get right into it.
Yeah,
Why
let's
not?
do it.
We wanted to ask you guys one of the questions we'll be chatting about, which is like, what has been your biggest quarantine turn on?
Okay. Tom, would you like to go first, or Samantha? Let's ladies first. How about that? Ladies first, because Samantha, Sam, were you here? You were here when they were here.
Yes, I was.
Yeah.
Well, my husband's doing a lot of work outside with less clothes on.
Yeah,
so
and Samantha,
short shorts, no shirt, woodworking.
And you just bought a new house. Sam
Yeah.
just bought a new house, so they're doing a lot of move-in and a lot of like fixer-up kind of
Yeah.
things. So you're liking the male nudity a little
I'm
bit.
into it.
Yeah.
I'll go next. And this may be a little too hot for radio.
No.
Oh, Jerry Springer over here. Too hot for TV.
But I like it when my wife gets wine drunk enough where she passes out on the couch, and then when she starts snoring, that's my cue to watch the garbage TV that I really want to watch. And then
like Treehouse Massacre.
I get 30 to 40 minutes of total serenity while the
It's not
monster
really a
sleeps.
turn on as much as just peace.
Okay, yeah. Well, I guess that's different. I've been married.
Neutrality really does it for you.
Yeah. I just want quiet, and then when the crow falls asleep, that's when it's time to party. In my mind,
Crow falls asleep.
Yeah, I call it the Watchman Crow.
Yeah. 2 shows ago, you called her a parrot on your shoulder, pecking all your good ideas.
Yeah. Either one.
Okay, I'll go next. I would say my biggest lockdown turn on would be,
What?
how do I say that?
Headbutting the buffalo.
Yeah, headbutting the buffalo, hoping that my daughter doesn't come down the stairs and see that.
No.
Nobody wants to see that.
Oh, it's bad.
Nobody wants, because while doing that, I do look like pig at trough.
So
Does it add an element of risk that now that your kids are home 24/7?
All the time.
It does. Yeah, it does add an element of risk. And see, I'm a huge fan of that. And this plays into, sort of guys, by the way, this is what you can kind of expect if you watch their show. It's and I urge you to, it's a spicy show and you're going to dig it. But yes, I'm into that. I like that danger factor. My wife, no danger factor. She does not like that at all.
So, what have you guys found that, because it could go one of two ways. We've heard a lot of, the quarantine sex and the trying to spice it up. We have a sponsor, Fair Villa. We've been urging people to go and try some new things.
I love them.
You can swing by and pick up things if you need it. They got a drop-off system.
Then on the opposite side, it's how do I divorce this person because I hate their guts.
Yeah.
They're driving me insane.
That's what I honestly, guys, and I hate to bring
the majority of it.
bring the room down. But I'm seeing a lot of our BDMs and people go on our page and say like, "Hey, I think we're finally getting a divorce." So it's
Oh man.
and it makes sense because you're like, hey, I wanted to marry this person. I didn't want to be with them all the time.
Yeah. That's
Oh,
a good.
I see the
Is there a
same thing
reason
with
why there's
parents.
so many protests going on in the U.S.? People
yeah,
are
could
just
be.
unhappily married.
Could
yeah,
be.
yeah. They didn't get their ARs out for nothing. They're like, I can't stand it anymore.
I had to unroll my flag.
There's so many like digital apps and like online like therapy options now. Like maybe seek some of that because you got another like 3 months of lockdown, I think.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, I feel very lucky that I'm with a partner that I like.
what?
And we get along.
That exists?
Gross.
We get along just fine. My biggest quarantine turn on has to be though when he chooses to shower.
Yeah,
But-
I'm a little
You
dirtier.
smell so clean.
I'm dirtier lately, and it's ironic because everybody's like, wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands. My hands are really clean,
Yeah.
but my body is just filthy.
Yeah.
It's just,
Totally.
it's like
Yeah.
caked on.
Going back to whether you guys are doing it live or not,
Yeah.
have you guys seen like the SNL like at home shows? Like
Yeah,
See
I've
that.
seen a couple of them.
well, because it's interesting because they
I'm pretty proud I haven't even seen one.
No,
Yeah.
they do a good enough job because based on what they have to work with, I'll give it to them. But it's interesting because they film it as though they're doing it like on a Zoom or live type of feel. Although it's totally obviously pre-recorded and edited together and stuff.
Sure, yeah.
But that's an interesting like element to me of like you film it as though or you edit it as though it's live. So as the viewer, you're like, oh, this is cool that they're doing this live thing.
They're like me.
Yeah, but it's like obviously, there's no way you could do that with that size of a show and everything going on. But in your mind, you're like you're watching it live because we're so used to Zoom and all these FaceTime elements. So you could, I guess, technically, when people start doing these shows and like if you do more of these, you could pre-record them. And now it takes the element of like anything could happen out of it.
The spontaneity of improv away a little bit.
But
Yeah.
it does take all the technical problems that people have, which tends to ruin a presentation you're trying to put together because, like things drop out and there's a delay and a lag.
Yeah.
And so it's hard to get beyond those things.
Have you guys done any more
Sure.
of these shows other than this one that our listeners can check out at 11? And the easiest way to find it would be to go to
Yeah.
Orlando Fringe
This is the
Facebook page.
first time online. We're like trying it out, fulfilling all our like cam girl fantasies.
Yeah.
No, there won't be any. There will be zero nipples.
Okay,
But
all right.
we'll talk about them probably. But yeah, I think easiest way is for listeners just to go on their on Facebook and find the Orlando Fringe Facebook page and just click on the link like right before 11, and we'll hop on. And I think what I'm most excited for in actually doing it live instead of anything pre-recorded is that we can actually involve the listeners, the viewers in the chat. Like we have some quiz questions. People can like ask us questions and join the combo. So I think that's going to be a cool part of it.
Yeah, and we're also really lucky because like a lot of Fringe events that are happening are like traditional plays, but we're just ourselves. And also if things mess up, we can just acknowledge it, and it's not like you're gonna miss a whole plot point of our show.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, whoops.
I've always
There's
liked that
zero
better.
plot.
Yeah, I've always
Yeah.
liked it better when you can pivot and be honest with the audience, because I've always thought when things go awry and you can't acknowledge it, it's like, to me, I don't know. I like it better to make fun of it. It makes it funnier to me.
So,
For sure.
for you guys, let's talk a little bit personal. I don't want to get too into
my
it, but I
God.
know you guys don't mind. This is all
No,
part of
we're into it.
what
Open
you
book.
do.
No.
Speaking
I'm
of,
checking to see if he's got on his creepy horny hat today. Like, I don't know.
it blew off. When I was,
it blew off.
I put my head out the window like a dog on the way here, and I was like, "Oh, my horny hat!"
Some kid's gonna find that.
That's all right.
It's fine. It's a different time.
Yeah. I ripped all the pubes out, so you can't really tell what it is.
What is happening?
Yeah, why would there be?
I don't know.
Why would you have pubes in your horny hat?
Well, you know.
Well, he wears it downstairs.
So,
Did we tell the ladies that you shave like a baby?
don't talk about it.
He shaves like a baby down there. It's weird.
So for you guys, how do you keep intimacy spicy during this time? And do you try to maybe
Wigs.
go into some categories that you normally wouldn't?
Try some new stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, it's a pandemic. We might all die. Let's try, X.
Does that work?
I think I've found, Lauren and I were talking about this yesterday, the joy of afternoon sex for, the 2-3 p.m. is just seems like the golden time.
Yeah, it's almost
and
like
usually you're never around your partner. You if you work in different places,
yeah. And also, we have my apartment building and my bedroom window faces an office building. And so normally we're doing it at night when everyone's left, but now we're not. And so I'm just really banking on the fact that everyone there is working from home from that building. But if they're not, there's that little element of danger we were talking about, maybe they're working, maybe they're not. Here's a nice afternoon show for you.
Yeah, I've always been a fan of having sex at exactly the same time that Judge Joe Brown's on.
with it on?
I've never thought of that.
His soothing voice.
I've never thought of that. His soothing form of African American Southern justice just really gets me hard.
I mean, he's stern.
Yeah,
but he's smooth.
He's fair. He's fair. That's the thing about him. He's fair.
The biggest advantage to afternoon sex for me is after it's done, then I'm like, great. I don't have to be nice to this lady for the rest of the day now because I've already got. It's like getting the trophy in the middle, at halftime.
At halftime,
for the second half, I'm not even running hard. I've already got the goal trophy. Sorry, I've been married for a longer time, so
he has.
It's this is what you have to look forward to.
That halftime trophy.
Can't wait.
I'm not sure if it's like that for everyone.
Ooh, another one. Tell me if you guys have been doing this. Another one that I'm kind of into that has everything to do with quarantine and time is hey, let's both leave our shirts on like we're a young British boy at the beach.
Leaving the shirt on.
We leave the shirts on. I leave my shirt on. She leaves her shirt on, and we just everything down below. It's like it's a below the waist sport at that point.
Pig.
Yeah, from the
I guess that's important if there is that element of the kids could walk in.
Right.
I don't have that problem. Prefer to take all of it off.
Yeah, sometimes I actually wear my shirt. I wear my shirt upside down. I put my legs through the armholes, and then I have a hole.
That's
just
good.
everything.
The neck hole.
And then everything falls out of the neck hole. That's called the upside down hot air balloon.
Sorry.
I'll note that one. We'll try it.
That's new.
Now, is quarantine, I'll ask you guys some advice. Is quarantine, speaking of spicing it up and trying something new, I feel like it's a dangerous game to start adding something that maybe you've always wanted to, but maybe you're going to take this opportunity. But I feel like at a time where you're stuck inside with your spouse or your significant other, that maybe not the best time to suggest something weird that you've always been into.
Well, a little something over the top.
Yeah. Because I feel like that maybe for a time where she's in a better mood or he's in a better mood or
tensions are running a little high. So if you and I were dating and I brought up to you let's say hey, how about tonight you really stomp my plums?
Exactly.
I want you to
be like,
stomp them purple, and then I'm like, have you ever thought about stomping my plums purple? And then you'll say, no, I haven't. And I'd be like, no, me neither.
yeah. And they'd be like, why would you even say
That's
that?
one way to test it out. Just
Yeah.
asking for a friend,
Yeah. I'd be
Yeah.
like, have you ever like walked by and just wanted to stomp them out? And
Yeah.
then you're like, no, I've never thought. I was like, oh,
Oh yeah.
I don't know why I brought
I
that
don't
up.
know. Just it
Yeah,
just popped in my head.
Just so whatever. It's just like, what do you
I
want for
don't know.
dinner?
Yeah. Oh, I feel sick. I got diarrhea.
And then you run.
Yeah.
Then you hold your butt as if that's gonna hold it.
Hey, have you guys ever noticed that when people say
sorry.
they have diarrhea, they hold their butt? And I'm like, why would you? That's not going to do anything.
Yeah. There's no way you have enough hand pressure to
Yeah.
keep that
Oh,
in.
No, it's just gonna leak on your hand.
And you're also putting a full spread out 5 on it. And I'm like, all that's going to do is scatter it.
Yeah.
You need to keep
I feel after listening to this entire like side conversation that maybe you just need to be a little more succinct with your ask. Maybe she's
Okay.
confused about what you really like.
Okay, that's it.
You know, just keep it short.
Yeah,
one
we
at a
went from
time,
stomping to
full
diarrhea
stop,
very
diarrhea, start.
That's an accurate observation, I feel like.
So you're saying just not going to the diarrhea?
Right.
You know, that's
Hold on.
that's
let me,
a good. That's a
Hold
you
on.
know,
I have a
That's
mechanical.
a good advice.
That part back.
I have a mechanical pencil here, and
Yeah.
I just wrote down 86 the diarrhea.
So
Also, I think you can like preface any kind of ask with like, as long as you like, well, talk about your feelings and be like, I feel like this whole experience has really like has me questioning like what is life, and if you just go really deep like that first, then you can kind of get away with any ask after that. Just get really sappy first,
Oh,
and
that's
then
good.
be like, you know.
That's why
Connect on
that's
that
why I've
deeper
missed
level,
you guys.
and then ask her to stomp on your balls.
Yeah, I've missed you guys. You guys give us such like
Yeah.
really good, and I can't wait till all of this stuff. Well, hopefully things get better and we can get you back in here live and talk to you because I know this.
Ugh, one
Also,
day.
avoid and do whatever you want, but maybe consider avoiding things that could send you to the hospital. I'm not sure if that's the place you want to go
Yeah,
right now.
yeah.
You know,
Hold on,
That's great.
86 the
Feel a
light
little
bulbs.
safe about it.
Yeah, 86 the plum stomping.
let me ask you guys a question, because there's some fetishes out there that I've brought up in the past about like dressing your partner up
Like a baby.
in wigs or in some sort of cosplay or in
I'm
some
a big
sort
fan of the big baby.
and costume, and
Big fat grown man baby with a beard.
I've breached this topic before, and then my wife brought up a pretty logical point. She's like, so let me get this straight. Your fantasy is to turn me into someone else. And then I'm like, exactly. And then I was like, so
I have diarrhea.
I'm back to
And
diarrhea.
then he ran away.
And then she's like, and now it is my fantasy that you are also someone else
Yeah. So
without bowel issues.
I see her point in that, anytime you want to wear a wig or the costume or whatever, it does seem like your partner's trying to make someone else out of you.
I go a step
like
further.
their fantasy is, hey, I want you to look like anybody else but yourself.
Yeah, like-
which is a little disrespectful.
I go
right?
a step further, and I ask my wife if I can put an entire sheet over her
Oh,
like
okay.
I'm covering a bird.
yeah.
I'm just really into ghosts.
Yeah, exactly. That one though, you gotta cut the eye holes. If not, it can be sort of racist.
Let me ask you.
And a mouthful would be ideal as well.
So, okay, I got a serious question. Sorry about this. Now we're getting down to business.
Brass tacks.
So, how do you breach a topic of something that you may be into that you're not necessarily like proud of, or like maybe you're a little
man.
embarrassed of, and
I feel like there's something you need. You've been keeping some stuff from us.
and then but your spouse or your person you've been with for a while doesn't know this about you, but you've always wanted to breach the topic because it's something you're into, but you're not sure how they will take it. I mean, seriously, how do you bring something like that up without the fear of the person like freaking out and like being like, I didn't know this about you, and then they run out
Yeah.
the door.
What's your kink, Tom?
I'm just saying,
Hey, you
people
give
have
your
that.
take, Amanda, and then I've got a take too.
All right.
Yeah,
okay.
I was just gonna say, I think like you just have to rip off the Band-Aid. Like I always feel annoyed when people ask advice questions about like relationships, because I always just say communication. But you just have to rip off the Band-Aid when it comes to bringing it up, but then be gentle about like whether or not they want to introduce it. If they have no interest in introducing your kink, sorry, like, you know, you can't force anyone into anything like that. But you can definitely like talk about different ways. You can, you know, maybe you have like porn featuring that kink playing in the background while you guys have sex. So, you know, like there's different ways you can slowly introduce it to make the person a little more comfortable. But there's no gentle way, I think, to introduce you having a more absurd taste in bed.
Well, I have a thought on how to like introduce the fact that you are about to rip off the Band-Aid, because like you don't want to just like bring that up over dinner, probably
out of sharing a bottle of wine, like
nowhere. Oh, I swore. Sorry, I wasn't supposed to. I'm so sorry.
Okay,
you're good.
You're good.
Basically, what I would do is, and this will sound like a shameless plug, but I would listen to shows like ours, or like find podcasts that are about like sex and kink and stuff, and listen to them together, because just listening to like a third party like talk about this stuff, then it's easier to ask that question of like, oh, like, what do you think about that? Or like, what are you into? Or like, do you have any fantasies? And then that opens the door for you to kind of lay your stuff on the table. And I think like just addressing the fact first that like fantasies in general are like okay, and it's not a slight on your partner, or that you want them to be someone else, or that you're bored with kind of what you already have going on, but that I think it's like, as long as you like introduce that subject first, that like fantasies are a good thing, and this is like a way to like reignite something, and then you can like rip the Band-Aid off and be like, I really want you to stomp on my balls.
All right.
Always comes back to that.
So
while I'm having explosive diarrhea.
Yeah,
Totally.
there you go.
And
So-
acknowledge that it's like a treat, that like fulfilling your fantasy is a treat. If like the only way someone can get off is by, you know, this very specific fantasy or kink, then maybe they should be going to therapy and not putting their partner in that situation. But like, if, you know, if it's just like a once in a while treat, it can be fun, you know? And sometimes people don't know that they also have that kink until they try it out.
Yeah, it's been a little odd for me to get my wife to refer to me as her stepbrother. But I have tried many times.
Do you catch
once
her?
a month, just on a Sunday, once a month, just one time.
Stepbrother
just
Sunday.
Stepbrother Sunday.
Oh. Do you catch her cheating on her exam and then you threaten to tell the parents?
No, normally it's a babysitter, and I'm like, I put in a very high-tech security system here, and I was watching you masturbating, and that's not what you're supposed to be watching my daughter, and your punishment is to have wild sex with me on this $1 million patio.
In this rented house.
God.
There's nothing even in the kitchen counter. There's not even a Cheerios
I
up
know
there.
I have an unconventional house with zero furniture in it, but I live the way I live.
So let me ask you another question. And we're trying to keep it a little clean because this airs on terrestrial radio. Even though Daniel and I are convinced that the FCC is not going to do anything right now.
I don't know where.
we don't
haven't
think they
heard from
exist
them in months.
yeah. I think they have bigger problems. Anyway, so the topic of watching, let's say, porn with your spouse. So. Some people aren't into it, but I feel like everybody has seen it. We could all probably agree. I mean, maybe you're ultra super religious or conservative people, but they're not our listeners anyway.
I think we found his kink. I mean, just the way he's talking. I'm connecting the dots here. And
so basically,
there must be God porn out there.
Yeah. Me and Dana are convinced that not even the people that are adamantly
they're
denying,
lying.
they're lying. So we all are under agreement that every one of our listeners watches porn.
Sure.
Although it's, from a lot of people, probably the vast majority, it's a very personal thing. You watch it by yourself. And I've seen couples, they watch it together and stuff like that. Although I have tried it, and I will say, and it's awkward to me. because it's not how I normally watch it. Because so now
you're not sitting on the toilet hiding from your family.
In silence.
Exactly. I feel like
Wait, did you have the audio on?
Yeah, which is odd.
Very odd for him.
I did, just like Daniel said, I was like, can you come and I'll sit.
Can you come stand next to me? I'll sit on the toilet and watch this with no sound on. And then you have to bang on the door, and then I have to get very upset. Someone's in here.
Because that's how I'm used to it. So then when you now introduce this thing where I'm watching it, and then we're watching it together, and I'm like, well, normally you
gotta install a second toilet.
Like now you're making me actually watch it, and then I feel bad for the girl. And normally on the toilet, I've in my mind these people are
yeah.
The
toilet's purgatory.
Yeah.
Anything can happen
Yeah,
there. Up, down, evil, good. It's all the same in purgatory.
So you have empathy for the girl because your wife is in the room?
Well, now because I'm like we're watching it like we're watching The Notebook. Like I'm trying to, I'm trying to look at the plot. I'm like, oh, she's a realtor, and this gentleman,
just like your wife.
And then my wife like watching the beginning. I'm like, God, drag this forward.
Right, fast forward.
Yeah, what are you doing? You're an insane person. What is all this? and then you just want regular boy girl in the rented mansion. The porn star. Like this is boring.
It's also I don't. Huh? I'm not sure I feel comfortable playing a video for my wife where it's like. Guy goes to massage parlor because his stepdaughter works there, and she's in training, and she's like, I can't train on you because it's a special type of massage. I just think my wife would be like, you watch this?
Yeah. I feel embarrassed scrolling through all the stepdaughter, the taboo, and then the sleeping one, which is
that's terrible.
And then all the
I heard about that one.
It's terrible.
And then I'm like, and then she's like, what is all this horrible? And I'm like, I know.
But you know what?
And then I have to act offended too. I'm like, oh, this is I'm outraged.
Yeah. But guys,
it's just like it's a whole different experience to watch porn with your partner. Like have your like whatever is your like farthest kink shit that you do for yourself with yourself, and it is a different experience when you watch with your partner and choose something that like turns the both of you on, something maybe that you want to do together, and then she'll have her own stuff too. Like I know my partner's the same. Like he does not want to tell me what kind of porn he watches. Like he's like, no, you don't need to know that or how much porn I watch. And I'm like, come on, let's do it. It'll be cute. It'll be fun. And I think he has the same idea. He's like, no, it's not cute and it's not fun.
The porn watching experience for like you and your partner separately is like its own thing, you know? It's like when I want to watch this TV show and he wants to watch that TV show, and then you have like a mutual TV show.
Yeah.
Find like a middle ground as to something that you both like. You don't have to watch like your massage parlor stepdaughter porn
together.
at that time.
You're familiar.
Just say like,
She doesn't need to be a part of all of your porn.
I see we're in the
She's a
same
lovely
room.
lady, but she doesn't, she can take a
Save
break.
something for yourself.
It's also I gotta say, I think your analogy of your TV show, her TV show, and then together TV show is perfect. That's perfectly said. For me, it would be like, I want to watch stepmom gets hand stuck in garbage disposal.
Oh, yeah.
No
I'm
way
a big
out.
fan of that.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
Like, get the oil.
Yeah, and my wife probably just wants to watch, I don't know, Call the Midwife. And then together we'll
That's a great show.
And then together we'll watch
Midwife in a garbage disposal.
Call the garbage disposal.
I'd be like, how are you stuck under the bed? It's easy to get out. I'm sorry.
Well, rather than help you get out of here, I mean, I should certainly perform coitus on you.
Yeah. And then you should be more appalled by what's happening.
I mean, I think this is a crime in most places.
Almost all places. Sorry. Again, it's Lauren and Amanda. Do it online. It's tonight at 11 p.m. You can go on fringefestival.org.
Well, Orlando Fringe Facebook Fest.
Yeah, just
Facebook.
Sorry.
Yeah, go to their Facebook and just search
Google it.
Orlando Fringe. It pops right up.
Yes.
You can go right there, and they're going to be on the front page. I already talked to Brian about it, so it'll be. And they've been doing a lot of these. And hey, guys, thanks so much for your time and for Skyping in. And
Thanks for having us back.
Oh, always. And next time you're in town, we'd love to have you back in here, and we'll chop it up again soon.
Awesome. Thanks.
Yeah,
Hope
take
to
care,
do this
guys.
later tonight, guys.
Yes.
Bye.
We'll see you soon. Bye.
See ya.
They're so sweet. I like them. And the whole Skype jumping around thing, that was weird. I mean, it didn't work perfectly, but hey, whatever. This is what
Do
we're
what we
dealing
can.
Well, it's the first time we've ever experienced that. We didn't know that Skype had this option where it would just bounce back and forth for whoever's talking. Pretty interesting. But hey, we're figuring it out as we go.
Yes, sir.
I often, when we're talking to people and with the things that we say, I'm like, what are they thinking?
Well, they're doing a show talking about sex.
But what we're talking about goes beyond it. Goes into some
You threw diarrhea in there for some reason.
Well, no. Okay, I'll explain that one too because we have just enough time to do that.
Okay.
Tom and I, for 10 years, the only excuse that we've ever been able to come up with, because we didn't have kids when we first started the show.
Yeah.
Normally, if you need an excuse for something to get out of something, I know now that I can just use my daughter and no one's going to say anything about it. They can't. Because if you do, then you're an idiot. You're a bad person if you want me to deny me to spend more time with my daughter, or less time with my daughter and more time with you. That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think that. But forever, since the beginning of the show, we have always used the universal excuse to get out of anything is diarrhea. Always.
Yeah. In fact, our buddy SBK, who's doing well right now in
he's
Tampa,
been doing some Q&As and some music listening parties, so go follow him on Instagram.
He at one time, maybe 15 years ago, instructed me. He's like, hey, if you, if they're ever waiting outside the door for you, because in radio, they just, after your last show, you don't even know it's your last, but after that show.
Oh, they'll make you work it.
You get out, and then the management's just waiting for you outside the production room door, and then that's the sign that you're going to be fired. And he told me, he's like, if that ever happens, just hold your butt and run to the bathroom and scream, I gotta go.
Yeah.
And then
they're not going to do anything.
And then
they won't wait for you outside?
No.
Well, you can continue to do that, he said, for days until something happens.
Because even if they're waiting, you come out of the door, you go, I got it again. You go back in, until and you wait them out.
Yeah.
You wait them out.
They won't stand there forever. They got lives to live.
And then you go straight for the stairwell down to your car, and you're home, and that's one day in the book.
Then you can
do that for 3 weeks.
And eventually, they'll just be like, whatever, let them work. I think that's
true.
what he said.
That is true. We got to get out of here.
Yep.
Guys, thank you so much for listening. We certainly do appreciate it. TomandDan.com for all things Tom and Dan. Watch us live. We're on there right now. Twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live. Or just go to twitch.tv and search Tom and Dan Live. And on YouTube, all of our replays, including this one, you can see a day later. Just search Tom and Dan Live on YouTube. We will see you Monday.
Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Hey there, Sam.
Hi.
What's up? How was your weekend?
It was great.
You getting moved in?
Yeah.
Okay. Putting pictures on walls yet moved in? Or are we doing just furniture installations and organizational installations?
Painting and furniture.
Nice. Painting is a big deal.
Do you feel any different that this is the house that you own? This is your first house that you own, right?
Yeah.
Congrats.
Do you feel any different about it than the houses you rented? Because normally,
it's a lot nicer than any house I've ever lived in.
Yeah. Do you feel like the crushing responsibility that if anything breaks, that you got to fix it, as opposed to like
not yet until something breaks.
Yeah.
Plus, the guy that owned our house prior, really maintained everything.
Oh, that's good.
And a lot of stuff is new, so I think it'll be a while before that happens.
Did he keep all the the warranty information?
Yes.
And
we had a whole packet of all the warranties, all the manuals.
You bought your house from future me?
Yeah, basically. And any kind of work they did, they documented every single thing.
You got to do that. How cool is it, though?
Yeah,
How
nice.
cool is it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
We're near the receiving end of that. I mean, not to speak highly about something that is one of my pet peeves that drives Tom crazy, but keeping manuals and stuff like that is a big deal. Like, for instance, on the air fryer, there's a bunch of buttons. We only use a couple of buttons. I went over there yesterday, was looking at it. I was like, I don't even know what this button does. Went right to my drawer, pulled out my air fryer manual. Page 6, boom, know exactly what it is.
I'm like, how do I use a dishwasher? There's the manual.
Now, you
right
could
there.
look it up online, and I know everything's sort of gravitating to that, but it is kind of nice just to have everything.
Well, here's what it's a sign of. It's a sign of that the person cared and
gave a damn, yeah.
And if he cared that much to keep the manuals all in one place, most likely he kept the upkeep on his house.
Yeah, and he documented all the upkeep.
Yeah.
So I know when all the work was done.
That's one of the things I do with my car that I know is old school, and I got that from my dad. Again, that's why I do it in the house. When I get my oil changed on my car, anything that has to do with the tires being rotated, whatever,
Yeah.
I have one of those, like, what are they called? Like a binder or like a wallet, and all of that is folded and stuck in there in chronological order of when I had this stuff done. So when you buy my car from, the dealer, you know exactly what you're getting.
That's not rewarded enough because
You should get extra money for that.
I feel like, yeah.
You're right. You're right.
I feel like because at the end of the day, and Daniel will probably tell you that it does help with a lot of things, like if whoever you're selling it to, if you have all that stuff and you have this documentation, they're gonna feel way more relieved that you actually did the upkeep and stuff, and they're more likely to buy it from you. But it doesn't seem like a vast difference from the person like me who did nothing and had no record of anything, and it's like the discrepancy of like me selling a car and you selling a car is like
no different.
It's probably like $100 or maybe like $1,000 difference or something like that. But it's not enough where it should be way more, because what Daniel did is a undergoing. Like, he actually kept every receipt of every oil change, and like it's all chronological order.
I keep the tags they put on the visor, the number, the green and red numbers. I keep that and I just slide it with the paperwork. I don't know.
Because I've bought things
Weirdo.
from people. Okay, my first house in Deltona, the guy he literally had a agoraphobia. Like he was afraid to leave the house.
That was a cool house.
But he kept, like, when we moved in, everything was immaculate. And
What's the address? I want to look it up.
It was Angora. BDM lived in it, but he just recently sold it.
It was a really cool house.
Speaking of that, like the BDM that sold it, that was living there, I don't know if it was him or I think he was renting it.
Yeah.
They sold it for the exact price that we bought it for back in 2008.
Way.
So it's like, I think we bought it 2007 when we got married or whatever. But that's how long it took
for it to get back.
Is it 1002 Angora Street?
No, it was.
I used to know it too because I used to go over there all the time.
What was it? Angora?
It was a really this house.
Because you always say it was a cool house, so I want to
Here's
see
why.
what
I'll tell you why it was cool, because it had a feature that I'm a huge fan of. And I've said this on the show before, so I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself. I like the pool in either the front of the house and you have to walk by it to get to the front door, or on the side of the house.
Yeah.
Pool on the back of the house. It's great. Like your house right now, you have a pool in the back of the house. That's great.
That's the standard.
That's the standard. But I'm a massive fan of the pool. Now, there was a pool next to my mom's house that's the pool's in the front, and you have to walk around the pool to get to the little front door. I love that. And you had the pool on the side. So when you would park, you just go to this gate, and then you're right at the party. I don't know. There's something cool about it, man.
Like it was a detached garage, and the house was technically sideways where the front door was facing the pool.
Yeah.
So like 10 feet from the front door was the pool. So when you walked in, there was like an archway and like a metal gate, which the crackies stole for
but
metal.
it was cool, dude.
But you walked in and there's like a courtyard between the garage and the house.
Yeah,
it was
it's a courtyard.
Small. It was only like a 1,100 square foot house.
But you had like a little garden to the right, like a little area, and then you had your shed. Or your garage, I mean.
Yeah.
And then you had pool, and then you had backyard, shed, and then screened-in patio. So I just like the setup. It's a party setup.
Yeah. Anyway, I short sold. I bought that house for $178. It just sold it for $178. I short sold it for $38,000.
That hurts.
Which
that one hurts.
At the time, it didn't matter. Could you imagine buying a house for $38,000?
No.
By the way,
I could.
I
bet she wishes she could.
This is how stupid I was. Some investor bought it, but I left like the appliances, stainless steel appliances, everything. They had just redone, like they put a fire pit and all this pavers stuff. Like I left it immaculate when most people were like pouring concrete down their toilets because they were mad at the bank or whatever, or ripping.
Or at least sell the appliances.
I know. We
or take them with you.
We didn't think it was right. We're just like, well, whoever buys it deserves to buy it the way it is.
Yeah.
We're not going to strip it. And
I remember that. I remember thinking,
you own those appliances, though.
I know. It was stupid. I did take some of the plants that they gave me for free for the.
And where are they now? Are they at your new house?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I took a bougainvillea that got too big, and then I had to rip out. By the way, no one plant those things. It's just thorn. It's just thorn vines. It's impossible to manicure because they're slicing you crazy. It's the worst. They're pretty to look at, but it's just a thorn vine.
You ever got one of those in the bottom of your feet?
Yeah. Step on them all the time.
It is the worst.
Oh, it's 10,
right through the heel. Ooh.
1042 Angora.
Oh, I was just looking at that one.
Yeah, 1042 Angora Street.
It's for sale right now.
How much? How
Hold
much?
on, I gotta look it back
I thought
up.
Crystal told me it just got. Maybe someone's flipping it.
What's the price on it?
Hold on.
Because
she's going in.
1042. It's at 181 445. The last time it sold, it just sold in January for 178.
Okay, yeah, that's what she's
Yeah.
saying. So someone's flipping it. Now they're trying to.
I guess.
They're trying to sell it for 181. Like that's a weird flip.
Well, that's the Zestimate on Zillow.
Here, I'll do street view so everybody can see.
They still got the
interesting house.
See now, if you can see, you can't see my cursor. See if I can walk up.
All the plants are dead.
Okay, now
I know.
if you're looking,
that's how they were when I left it. Although the new plants, see that front?
This looks like a trash city.
They gave me $10,000. I'm not even joking of landscaping. See that palm tree? And
this is where you would go in the little door
all
there.
through a radio promotion.
Oh,
That's when the drug dealers thought I was the kingpin.
Well, of course, I would too.
And because everybody else was
Look at that brown grass.
yeah. It was always brown. That was the same grass that they spray painted green that time. That one monster listener was like, "I got this new business. I spray your grass green." Imagine this house, right?
with fluorescent green grass.
And then the neighbor brown dead, and then the other neighbor brown dead, and then I had bright Easter green grass. Oh, that's the neighbor that he was trying to break into his own house because his old lady kicked him out.
This guy. And here's the trash can where you heard it right there.
And then I walked out my side door and I had my rusty revolver and it was shaking because I thought something like he was like go like something was breaking in, and then I'm like open door, I was like, "Bob, are you there?" And he's like, "Yeah." And then I'm like, "All right, just checking to see if everything's okay."
Make sure you're okay, buddy.
He was trying to break into his own house to attack his old lady, I think. I don't know what was happening.
So your pool's on the left side where that wooden dilapidated fence is?
No, it's behind.
It's straight.
Yeah, see, the courtyard is straight in there.
Yeah, you go right through that little door and you're in the party.
Oh.
Can you go to Google satellite view? I'll show you.
Well, I mean, there should be a satellite view here, right? Or no?
Like maybe you can see above.
Maybe
You'll
not.
see the pool.
How do I do that?
I wanted to do a walkthrough. Oh, the neighbor got a boat. That neighbor, that house was foreclosed, and people are cooking crack
Oh.
and or meth. You cook meth, right? Crack is more of a
You cook crack
cut
as
it.
well.
Do you cook crack?
I don't know.
Well,
You kind of fester meth.
whatever drugs they were cooking, it burned up the whole kitchen, and then the cops were there one day, like pulling all the burnt up crack residue and stuff out of there. That was good.
Somebody, Tracy's saying that we can get like on Zillow or Realtor.com. I'm gonna try and find. Here's the Zillow. Oh, okay, here we go. Oh, here's the inside. You want to go back in the Wayback Machine,
Oh,
buddy?
yeah,
There's the pool. The pool looks nice.
Oh, it's a dope pool. Okay, here's the. I'm gonna go through the photos here. So,
That's not it.
That's not it.
No.
Oh, that
You went
isn't
to
it.
like the neighbor's
Oh, we
house.
did the
That's
neighbor's
the
house.
same layout, though.
Hold on. Why did it say
Unless that's currently what we were looking at was the old
1042 Angora Street?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's it.
so what we were looking at was the way it used to be. I think that's when I lived there.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
I was like, look how much of it.
I mean,
Did Tori sell your house?
Yeah, it said Tori
Yeah, it
Colbert
did.
Remax.
Yeah.
That, they haven't
up.
updated it in 10 years. My God.
Well,
Google,
the
get your stuff
Zillow.
together.
They made it look nice. They ripped out all the.
It's all right.
They
They
repainted
got a basketball court. Okay, now here's the
Okay,
inside.
yeah.
Now over
They put wood floors. I had carpet.
They got a volleyball court
if
in
you
the back?
look over at the
That's
right
where the
hand side.
Deltona Wiener Boil was.
Yeah.
sorry?
If
So all my Miami friends, when I had the hot tub in the screen room, they all came and did mushrooms and then sat in my hot tub for like
Deltona Wiener Boil.
5.5 hours. They all came up from. That's when the Grizz.
Oh, I'm gonna pass out.
The Grizz had a freak out and then cried for like 7 hours in our computer room.
Okay, here's some of my favorite things that I will have to point out of this house. If you look at this screen door over here, the glass door, it had the quintessential Florida fake etched palm tree.
Yeah.
On
It was like a decal.
Yeah, that made it look frosted.
And the bottom was all scratched up.
Look at that pool. That's a great.
Oh, they added a
cool.
water feature.
Well, it's just like a sprinkler.
Now, imagine you go right through the gate, right? You go
Those
right
bushes, they trimmed it nice.
Man, this-
Back when I had a
This
scraggly.
is better than your house now.
My God. Oh, they put some new.
Whoa, volleyball court.
Yeah, but it's just grass. It's just over grass.
Welcome back to the Oyster Bar, everybody.
I couldn't even walk over there because the ant piles took
I
over the
remember
yard.
that. Yeah, the ants are crazy over there, and all your fruit trees, the rats were.
Yeah,
and the
oh.
rats and the gnats and the flies.
The rats got. Oh, the flies were real bad. That's when we were convinced that they built Deltona on a trash heap.
Yeah.
That fire pit I never used. That was they gave us that fire pit as part of the radio promotion when they came and did all the landscaping, and they built it there. Never built a fire in it one time.
Okay, like what room would have this been?
That's the office. I think.
By the way, you can watch this
that where the Grizz cried?
twitch.tv/Tom&Dan Live, or go to
Yeah.
YouTube, Tom&Dan Live.
That's where the Grizz cried for 5.5 hours on mushrooms.
Oh.
And I think that flooring, that no, this is that's the bathroom. That's the master bedroom.
Take a picture of the
'Cause
floor.
it only had 2 bathrooms at a guest.
Whoa, you never had that.
What?
You never had a nice shower like that.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the other room. It's a 3-2.
This was
What is that, fake brick?
The front
floor?
of the door. Yeah, yeah.
like a traditional firehouse subs brick.
Yeah. The tile. That's some nice.
Okay, here's your
laminate.
kitchen.
Yeah. That's the back door where I peeked out with my revolver.
Yeah,
and I
back
said,
here.
Bob, you okay?
Yeah, that's Bob. Bob, you're okay. That's
Yeah.
the Bob, you're okay door.
Yeah.
Big faucet.
Yeah, this
There's-
is Quarantine Cribs, Tom's Deltona edition.
They're showing it's got an ADT.
That's the side where I parked the boat, the mildew boat.
Okay.
That's where I had. And that's the AC, probably a new one, but the crackies never stole the coil. Like, I didn't live in that house
Stupid
for like
crackies.
7 months, and every time we went back to like do something to it or whatever, I was convinced that there was gonna be no AC. I was
Sure.
like, for sure, the neighborhood crackies
Oh.
will steal the AC.
Wow.
That's the courtyard? I like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Did
Yeah.
they have an umbrella in there?
No, it's not an umbrella, dude.
What
That
are
is
those
a
things?
canopy.
Yeah, I forgot what those things are
Wow,
called.
that is now. See this door, this
Someone
mat.
manicured my bird of paradise that I left.
Yeah, see that mat?
Yeah.
There's a door right there.
That's the garage.
That's the garage. Now, inside that garage used to be a bag of bongo jeans that had rat S all over them.
What's that next to the door?
It looks to be like a small ashtray.
There used
Okay.
to be a water feature in the corner, but the crackies took that. Actually, they took it and then tried to sell it to the original owners who lived like 5 blocks down from us in a rental, but they stole it and then took it to the original owners and like, hey, you want to buy your water fountain back?
Wow.
And we had heard from the neighbor, they're like, yeah, they stole your water feature and tried to sell it to the original owners. And I'm like, all right. I just laughed at it.
I mean, sound.
I was already living in Maitland. I was like,
The idea
burn
is
it
sound.
down.
The idea is sound because it's like if you're a cracky, you're
Yeah.
like, hey, maybe he likes this. Maybe he's attached to it in some way.
Yeah,
You know? So
yeah.
I understand what you're doing, cracky.
Yeah, because if
or
you-
methy could be.
Because if you just put it on Craigslist, like no one's gonna buy a 8 or 9 year old
Yeah.
like stinky water fountain that's been, it's got. I mean, it would get mold in it, and I'd pour bleach and it'd
You got to
clear
know
up.
where you're selling.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
it's like
yeah,
if
yeah.
I get in a piece of Star Wars junk, I'm not selling it to you or Sam. I'm going right to Butler, right? I mean, it just makes sense. You got to know who you're going to.
There was an insane amount of snakes in that pool one day, like so much.
Like
there was
enough
like-
that St. Patrick would have gone insane. Like what?
There were like one day there was like a snake orgy happening in the deep end of my pool. It was like
Wait, is that the second part of the Deltona Weeder Boil? Is the snake orgy?
there was like 70 snakes all over, and they like, and
a sign of the apocalypse.
it was crazy. And there was also wolf spiders all over and flies. It snowed there too, enough where it made a snowball. That's
What?
Yeah. It was like sleet or like frozen rain, but enough
That
fell.
was
Frozen
meth particles
rain.
from a meth house that blew up and the ashes were coming down.
There was a time,
pile
remember,
of cocaine.
in like
Yeah.
Central Florida, I would like to say probably 2010-ish, maybe 11 or whatever, that it got down to below freezing for like a week at night in Central Florida and in Deltona.
Yeah, we left out cups of water. You wanted to see it freeze.
Yeah.
You
Like-
could see it snow.
like
you know,
that-
you do all the stupid Florida tricks.
Seems like a million years ago because it seems like no way that would happen now.
Buck Chungus is saying in our Twitch chat room, twitch.tv/Tom&Dan Live, he's saying 2007. Were you in that house in 07?
That was when we first got it. Yeah. So it must have been that time, but yeah, there was enough frozen sleet that it like a bunch of it was on my
stroke for a second.
my patio table, and then I made it a snowball out of it. I'm like, it snowed.
I love that house though. It was just
It
a
was cool.
fun like, I have a lot of good memories of like going out on your boat because where that house excelled is you could get the boat out quick. You could hit the St. John's, party, get back, put the boat in, then you go right through the gate, jump in the pool.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, it had like
The
it was a
Lakeman-
party. That was a party house.
The
man.
Lake Monroe boat ramp was only 5 minutes down the street, and then the St. John's boat ramp was 10 minutes
Not
there.
even,
and like
quick.
So that's how I learned all the waterways in my old.
But I think
Mildew boat.
you used the hell out of that boat, you know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
And you used the hell out of that house. I mean, you used
Yeah,
to have
yeah.
a barbecue there like every weekend.
Yeah. It was when we were all younger, and like I remember my Miami friend. I was the first friend to buy a house, and then a bunch of people like jumped on the bandwagon and bought houses, and then they all yelled at me after they all lost everything.
Wait, what?
Well, because I was like, I bought a house.
They lost their ass.
I told him, my buddy the wizard, I was like, my pop-up said buy property, it'll never go down in value.
Good investment.
Yeah, it's always a good investment. Property will never go down in value. I'm screaming.
I guess it's a Tom Fair guarantee.
They all bought it, and then the damn recession
happened.
literally, everybody's calling me. It's like, my house is worth half of what I bought it for 2 months ago. And I'm like, why'd you listen to me? Your fault.
Yeah.
Hey, that's on you. That's on you, bro.
My pop-up never told me that. I made it all up.
Freedom of choice. Free will.
I got my AR. Anyway,
Let's just do a couple of
whatever.
voicemails to take out the end of this segment. Let's see what we got here. Let's try this guy right here.
Hey, this is Zach from Ohio. I'm just kidding. I don't talk like that. But truly inspired by Tom's vegetable growing, and was wondering if you shared pictures of that yet and what he's using.
All right.
What are you using, bro?
well,
Yeah.
I'm actually. This is going to be for Monday, but last Friday on a mediocre time, I brought in my gifts.
The presentation of the peppers.
for Daniel, Travis, and Samantha.
I thought I was the only one getting gifts.
Well,
No, mine is
I need
less
a-
of a gift and more of like I just asked him, hey, can I have some of your peppers?
yeah, and I'm trying to get rid of it. I have too many plants right now, and I have to unload some of them. So I gotta start getting rid of them.
You know, this is how the old man farmer's market starts.
yeah.
Right,
Then I'll be going out to Lake Lily, setting up my little 10 by 10, and then my
that'd be
little.
great.
I'll get
Tiny little banner that's hung and it's got creases and wrinkles all in it.
Yeah,
that Tony Palmiotti designed for you.
Yeah, Tommy's tomatoes.
Yeah.
And I set it all out. I spent like.
Well, you sit in the back, but you've gotten real fat, and you let your sons work the front, and they hate it.
Yeah.
And you just sit back there listening to like right wing podcasts on your AirPods. You know.
And if you took into account like the time it took for me to grow the tomatoes and then bring them like.
Ooh, Tracy's got a good idea. I can sell my boiled peanuts at your tomato stand.
Oh, yeah. And then I sit there all day, and I put in a good, let's say, 18 hours of work, and then I made all of $45.
Yeah, and you had to
for
get
the
up at
day.
like 6 a.m.
Yeah,
to be
yeah.
there at 8, and then you stayed there from 8 to 8.
Yeah.
12-hour day.
Yeah. And then
And you sold like maybe 20 tomatoes,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you
yeah.
made, after all is said and done, you made a solid $12.
Yeah, a profit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which, if you take out the gas money, is a dead even.
Yeah. But at least you're not dying. You have something to do.
Yeah.
You're not bored.
Yeah.
And because at this point, Crystal's moved on, I feel
Oh, yeah. And I'm living on a fixed income disability.
like. Oh, disability.
Yeah.
But you have that now.
I know, but
you should apply.
once you start getting paid for it, that's when it's official.
Yeah. You want to stay in the amateur ranks for as long as you can, right?
Yeah, then I'm strung out.
I'm not amateur disabled.
I'm like, where's my Suboxone?
Oh, yeah. That'll get you.
I'll tell you, the chemicals worn my toes. Opioid joke.
Okay, let's try.
What did the guy even ask? He
What are
wanted
you
to know
using
if
for
you're
your
gonna-
garden?
Yeah, what are
Oh.
you using, and are you going to share some pictures of your garden?
I put some pictures on like my social media, but really my tower garden literally is just what the hell is it called? hydroponic system where it has a reservoir of water you add nutrients to. You keep the pH level fine, and then it uses a pump to suck the water up, and then it waterfalls it down, and then all the plant pods are separated so that the water touches the root system of the plant pod.
Total nutrients.
And then it just grows. It grows like crazy, easy as hell. All you got to do is keep watering it and keep the nutrients in it, and then keep the pH right, and then it'll. Yeah, I mean, it's now producing. I got green peppers. I've got Tabasco
Wait
peppers.
a minute. I asked you about green peppers before. You said you didn't have any.
I do. I'm propagating the green peppers right now, but they haven't rooted yet, so I can't.
Doesn't have any.
I'll believe me. I
didn't think you were growing them.
That's
the only thing I ever pulled out of my tower garden that were damn good were green peppers. They were real good.
I can't figure out how to grow the watermelon or the cantaloupe yet. I
want some cantaloupe. I love cantaloupe.
I have to pollinate them with Q-tips, and then you put the Q-tip in the male flower, and the female flower has a tiny little watermelon underneath it, and then I pollinated it, but it hasn't grown yet. So anyway, there it is.
Oh, Samantha didn't know about the bet we made when we played video games over here on Wednesday.
Oh, yeah.
Don't
what
talk
happened?
about it. I bet.
What'd I miss?
Okay, Tom raced Mario Kart and he did really well. I got 6th place. Well, not really well.
You
He
guys
did okay.
played Mario Kart after I left?
Then he asked me if I could beat him, and I know I can, but I had an off race because he put me in some F1 car with horrible tires.
It was the same one I drove.
Yeah, but you got dumb luck. And then I got like 8th place, and then Butler tried, and Butler got
4th.
We needed to get 3rd. I needed to get at least 3rd to win the bet. Butler got, what did he get?
4th.
So he didn't win either. So Tom was victorious, and I bet my wife
BFing.
Yeah, BF.
I'm sorry?
I get to BF Daniel's wife.
When do you get to cash that in?
Whenever he likes.
There was no time stipulation to it, so.
Yeah.
Is she aware of this bet?
No. Tried to call her, but she won't pick up.
Yeah, but
haven't seen her in a couple of days.
She's a good wife. She'll hold up Daniel's bet.
I've seen the videos where it's like, you only have to do this one time. I'll get back on my feet.
Yeah. It's you owe rent money.
Yeah. His name's Mr. Big. He's not that bad.
It's like, where is this Croatia? It looks poor. Like, where are you?
This is not good. Let's try this one.
Hey guys, I was listening to, I think it was ACT the other day, and you were talking about Thor Bjornsson breaking the deadlift record at 1,100 and something pounds or crazy like that. And I was looking at some of the behind the scenes videos and stuff, and it shows his wife. So he's 6'9", like 450. His wife is 5'2" and like 115. And I don't even know how that works. Like, not just, obviously I'm a pervert and my head goes there, but like, how does he not kill her just by hugging her? I was curious if you guys had seen that.
Well, she's like a walking condom to him, right?
And
you ever seen Shaq's not wife anymore, but his baby mama? He's got like 8 kids with her.
Yeah. And here's
tiny.
The thing. I don't
think they're together anymore, but they're like friendly.
And what's his name?
Even on the show, they're like friendly. I admire that.
What's the one that used to? Oh my God, why can't I remember his name?
Who are you talking about?
Also played Orlando.
Oh, bigger guy?
Superman?
Dwight Howard.
Yes, Dwight.
Yeah. Well, like, what about me?
Baby mama's tiny.
You're a big dude, do you like little girls? And if you're a little dude like me, do you like, because I like tall women.
Yeah.
Is that
you may like.
Well, if you're 6'9", you don't have a lot of options as a dude for a tall woman as tall as you, right?
But she's
like 5'11", or
like,
I mean, how tall are you?
5'10".
Yeah. See, I mean, you're out there. There's a lot of you out there.
And she is small even for me. Like if I was married to, if you look at the Wall's wife, like 5'2", 115, she's slight, and like so even if
the Wall.
It's the mountain. You keep calling him the wall. Trump.
Trump. Dude, you keep doing
I don't know why.
I think I know why you keep doing it. You've been telling me for months this whole thing is a myth. It's not even real. Nobody's dying.
Don't talk about it.
Okay, all right. I won't talk about it. I know we're not that kind of show, but if I had a nickel for every time you came in here and said it was trumped up, so to speak, to kill the perfect economy we had, I'd be a rich boy right now.
Butler tripped over my AR. I'm like, watch out, it's loaded and it's cocked.
Yeah, I'm going down to the mayor's office today. I just got to stand on the steps.
Anyway, the mountain, she is actually, she's small to any one of us, too. Like,
well, not to me. To me, I would have like a normal, I would look like all of you with your significant others. Except, wait, Sam, you're taller than your hubby, right?
No, we're the same size.
You're the same size?
Yeah.
For whatever reason, you look taller.
Do I?
Yeah. I don't know if that's just in my mind because you're a woman and my subconscious mind is sexist. I don't know.
So, okay, follow me with this theory. And I'm not saying that the mountain is into kids or anything.
What the hell, man?
Follow me here. Follow the
But
whole...
is the wall?
What did Cosby say when people started yelling rape is
Calm. Steady.
Calm.
I learned a lot from Cosby.
Yeah.
Don't say
After the rapes.
I gotta get out of here.
Post Cosby is what I learned the most about
Well,
life.
he didn't rape anybody after they accused him. Like that
was the safest. It's like after 9/11, the safest time to fly.
If you like Cosby before he was accused of rape, you're the bad one. I liked him after.
What?
No, you wait. No,
Hold on, let me figure this out.
You messed that up a little bit.
That math does not add
Strike
up.
that. Only Norm left at
Yeah,
that.
cut that out.
So anyway,
Calm. You gotta do it to yourself.
so just laughing around. Okay, so
It's just locker room talk, guys. Come on. You gotta grab them by the china.
all right. So the mountain. I almost called him.
God damn it.
said wall again.
So okay,
Dude, you've been hanging out with Butler too much. You guys are like becoming the same person.
he is so big and his
is
wife
living
is
together.
so small that
Oh, look at him.
there is.
Cute. It's cute.
I
There-
mean, she
even-
comes up to like his chest.
It's cute.
There is, and I know, like, she's a 30-year-old woman or whatever it is. I don't know how old she is, but she's a grown woman. But there is a childlike element to the size discrepancy to that, right?
Well, would you say that to my wife? That my wife married me because she likes to
Right.
like small boys?
Well, I'm not saying not small boys, but little people.
Well, now it's a gender thing again.
what?
So if it's a woman that's small, you're relating to a child. But if it's a man that's small, you think it's a little
Subconsciously
person?
sexist
Yeah.
is what that is.
well,
Yeah.
even
just
if-
like I just did.
Yeah.
You got to admit it.
If she was 6'7", 400 pounds, and he was 5'2", 115, I would say the same thing. I would say that there is an element of you're with this person, and I
So
assume
you're saying
they're-
my wife wanted to date a little person, but without the stigma of actually dating a little
I'm not
person?
saying that. I'm just saying you could make the correlation if you wanted to say that. It's
I
just-
think you want to say that.
I feel I feel like you want to say it as much as you want to say build a wall.
I'm just saying that you're closer to a little person than, let's say, the mountain.
mountain.
Yeah,
Okay, well, that I will
and
agree
the
with.
mountain's wife is closer to, let's say,
What's she called?
Him.
Speed bump?
No.
The hill?
It's just some pure size. Like when you're with a person sexually, it's like him being with a tinier human that is. You can make the case that it's closer to a kid than not, right?
I would suggest that maybe he just fell in love with her and she just happened to be small.
Yeah. I know. I'm just,
I wouldn't say he was attracted to children. I would not
Well,
put that
I'm
out
not
there.
saying that either.
I mean, that's kind of what you're saying.
Killed by,
No, that's not what it... No, I see what you're saying.
all I'm saying is that you, a worse person than me, could say it's weird that you like someone so small compared to yourself.
It's
right?
like going home and telling my wife what you said about us. It will be hard today.
Well,
it's going to be hard today.
I was just saying, if she ended up marrying like a basketball player, then I wouldn't make the comparison to a little person. I'm just saying.
I got you. I got you.
I knew that she married kind of a little person.
Let's oh my God. Let's try this one.
Tom, Dan, Sam, Butler. I recently watched Pan, the newer Peter Pan movie from 2015. And one of the beginning scenes, there's a where they're arriving into Neverland, and the workers there start singing "It Smells Like Teen Spirit." Completely threw me off and basically ruined the movie for me because I thought the rest of it was pretty good, but that really threw me off. And
Knight's Tale. Remember Knight's Tale?
Yeah.
Is that Heath Ledger?
Yes.
Yeah, they do We Will Rock You, and that ruined it for me. When you take a period piece styled movie and then you interject music that doesn't fit the time period, it disconnects my brain.
So are they saying that they were doing, what was the original? Like,
what do you mean?
Peter Pan?
Peter Pan. Well, it would have been like a pirate song. They're they're in Neverland.
Yeah.
They fly to Neverland. I guess there's fairies there.
With Robin Williams, the original.
No, that's Hook.
That's Hook.
Oh,
you're thinking.
God, God.
Peter Pan, the original, is a cartoon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but he's talking Pan.
Right, which was in 2015.
Right.
Hugh Jackman was Blackbeard in that one.
Yes.
I haven't watched this one.
Yeah, I haven't seen it
I'll
either.
have to check it out.
But yeah, it would throw me off too. I don't like it. Do an original song maybe, but I don't like it when you put like an alternative
how does that
rock.
Fit? I don't know.
It's a weird
Well,
choice.
maybe it's supposed to be Smells Like Teen Spirit. Okay, well, I'm just assuming they're the Lost Boys, right? They never want to grow up. Teens. I mean, they probably
Teen Spirit.
Yeah, there you go. That's why they did it.
Okay.
But it's an odd choice. I agree. It's distracting more than anything.
I wonder if The Wall would sing Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Oh, my theory.
Based on your theory, it's his favorite song.
Yeah. All I'm saying is that
Oh, no, you're back.
Samantha's husband, like, I would,
Is more like a boy?
well, no, I would lean more towards him, like maybe having an Amazon woman fetish, just based
The
on who
hell?
he married.
Yeah,
you know?
like Wonder
I'm
Woman
not
was...
taller than. I'm not even bigger than him.
But Wonder Woman
But
wasn't
in my
Amazon.
in me and Daniel's mind, you are. Even
But
though I saw him stand
I mean,
next
the
to you.
stereotype is the man is taller than the woman. Look, I know I've been dealing with it my entire life. Actually, had a girl that I asked out one time go, ew, you're disgusting. I mean, it's a thing.
I shouldn't have laughed so hard about it.
I've told that story about 100 times on this show. Every time you laugh harder. It gets harder with age. But it is an actual thing. So I see it. I see what you're saying. All right.
So do you think that Dan has a thing for Amazon women?
I do. I've told
Well,
I told
no,
women.
because every woman to him is an Amazon woman back to being
The amount of abuse that I'm
Okay.
telling you today is just off the chart. I kind of like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Oh, me.
Now I know why you like it so much when I bully you. It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
It's-
Bullying is fun.
all of these things I think about in my mind of how I'm going to eventually kill you is
well, that's a problem. Yeah. Then I'm like, this nerd is killing me.
all right. We got to take a break. Let's take one. We'll come back with more A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan right after this. Welcome back to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
Okay, we're taking voicemails. Remember before the break we talked to the Pan guy. He called back. I'll just play this part.
Hey, guys, this was in regards to the last message I sent about the movie Pan. I may have said it smells like team besides teen. I just wanted to correct myself.
He also said, because the song is called Smells Like Teen Spirit, right? I don't think
Yeah.
it's called It Smells Like Teen
That's
Spirit.
fine. We got the
Yeah.
gist.
Yeah. You don't have to correct yourself.
No,
but
don't call back with
We
the
knew.
correction.
Yeah.
Well, it's a good thing we played that.
I
'cause
thought he was going to say, it stinks. It stinks.
It stinks in here. There must be diarrhea in the atmosphere. It's the only thing Tom will chant. And it has been the
True.
only thing that he's ever chanted in 10 years of doing the show, 11 years of doing the show.
My sons love it.
He's only chanted that one thing. Any other chant, put your hand in, all of that, it's garbage. He'll never do it.
We got to get Randy his trophy.
Yeah.
We say that every week on a Monday.
Shark Week is coming up.
I know.
I still say my idea, double and nothing, is good.
Like he has to come back and.
We should have just made one trophy, and then whoever wins, you're on the hook for sending it to the new guy.
Yeah, like a Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's because it's just as valuable as
Stinky
the Stanley
cup.
Cup.
Yeah. We'll send you $5 to go to the trophy store and get your name etched in it, and then mail
We'll
it.
send you a Sharpie. Just write it on there.
Yeah.
This one I've been sitting on since Samantha and I and Butler have started playing Animal Crossing.
Tom and Dan, Butler, and Sam. Jim from Lakeland here. As it turns out, I'm as ate up with Animal Crossing as the rest of you guys, except for Tom.
Yeah!
But here's a little bit of Animal Crossing trivia that you might not know. Everybody likes to bag on Tom Nook about him being an evil raccoon. He's not a raccoon at all. Raccoons are not native to Japan. Tom Nook is an animal called a tanuki, which is the Japanese raccoon dog. But if you do an image search online for traditional Japanese tanuki art, what you see next may surprise you. Take a peek.
Can't put it on Twitch.
You cannot.
You
no.
cannot put it on Twitch.
What is it?
If you search traditional Japanese
It's
tanuki art,
downstairs tanuki.
No, it is, but it's
Big old tanukis.
It's the guy. It's the dog, right? The
raccoon dog.
The raccoon dog, the tanuki. But in traditional Japanese folklore, was his name Tiki or
Tiki Tanuki?
It's like his name is like Tiki Tanuki, the tricky Tanuki, and he has the big giant mega balls. I mean elephantitis, shujos, and he tricks you into doing
Tanuki the tipsy trickster.
That's it, Tanuki the tipsy trickster, and he sits on his balls and he tricks you into doing things, and he sits on them like a beanbag. It's awesome. It's awesome.
No, I like this now. I don't like your stupid baby Animal Crossing, but
look
I like
up
Tiki Tanuki.
The tricks. Look up
gigantic elephantitis balls.
Yeah, that's what he has. Look up
one of them. He uses testicles as a net
to catch fish. Yeah, I saw that
yeah.
one. Yeah, it's all the Japanese are they write good stories, man.
Now
I wish I could catch fish
so
with mine.
What is
you can teach them?
Oh God.
So what is there? Okay, there's an animal called a raccoon dog in Japan.
It's the tanuki, yeah.
And is it a mythical creature?
No, it's a real creature.
So it is a cross between a dog and a raccoon? It can't exist, right?
It's a raccoon dog, yeah.
So it's a species of raccoon that looks like a... What is it?
No, I think it's a dog that looks like a raccoon. They call it a raccoon dog. You want to see a real tanuki?
Yeah. So, okay. So it's a breed of dog that looks like a raccoon.
Okay,
Yeah.
Japanese raccoon dog. Here's one.
It represents a traditional Japanese prankster god. The tanuki is known in the West best from Super Mario Bros. 3, which features the tanuki suit that allows Mario to change form into a statue and to fly.
So that looks like a some sort of species of raccoon.
Yeah, kind of. It looks like a less. It's got bigger arms or bigger appendages than
Longer,
a raccoon.
yeah.
It's a little more dog-like.
Does it have a long tail?
Tuna Daddy says he thinks the real animal tanuki is extinct.
Like maybe this picture was a long time ago.
I don't think it's extinct.
Can we look up?
It's saying right here. It gives the conservation status right here. I just don't. Least concern is what it says. It's not extinct. No, LC for least concern, a lower risk.
So this is
it is a canine. Yes.
Oh, it is a canine.
Yeah.
So this is just some breed of dog that looks strikingly like a raccoon.
Yeah, I believe so. But the tipsy trickster one, just he's a prankster and he has giant testicles.
So can you buy one of these?
If you look at like one that's they are raccoon dogs. They're carnivores native to Asia. I'm trying to find the one I just looked at. Some of them look, when they're furrier, they look more like a dog.
Oh, okay, yeah, that almost looks like a. That looks like a what is it? Like a Sheltie or something.
Yeah.
Hey, let's buy one and give it away as a prize.
Yeah, the raccoon dog.
How much is a tanuki?
I don't know.
My mom is looking for a dog.
Let's get her a tanuki.
You already got the raccoons in your neighborhood.
I know.
They'll relate.
I bet something tells me this thing is super expensive.
Hold on, tanuki for sale. How do you even spell? Okay, hold on.
I need to. My sister asked me to start calling some people that I know in shelters and things. Apparently, dogs are kind of difficult to find right now because everybody went
everyone
out.
Adopted
Oh wow, here's a
adopted
guy.
dogs.
Okay, here's a. Oh my God! Sorry. Here's a guy playing with one. If you want to.
Tanuki raccoon dog. I like how we put smooth jazz through it.
Yeah, I'm gonna kill the jazz.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah,
here's here
it
comes.
looks like a raccoon.
He always giving it a pepperoni. Oh, it ran out.
Hold on, that was a real
That's
raccoon.
an actual
No,
raccoon,
I don't think
right?
it is. I don't think it is.
People have raccoons as pets. That looks like an actual raccoon.
I want to buy a tanuki and then give it away to one of our listeners.
Look up tanuki for sale. Let's see if we can get
I
one.
did. I can't find it anywhere. I mean, look, if we know certain people that can buy piranha, we can buy a tanuki.
Yeah.
We got to get on Butler. Get on the dark web.
Yeah.
And buy us a tanuki.
Go to Ask Jeeves, search dark web.
It says that they are not like a domesticated dog, and it is illegal to own a raccoon dog in your area.
Oh, okay.
In what area?
Yeah.
How do they know where I live?
They know my location. Oh, no, Tanuki.com knows my location.
You're on Tanuki.com.
Well, I don't care.
Never give your address to Tanuki.com.
I went from Amazon woman porn to Tanuki's. What's happening?
Your history is, your web history is terrible.
Well,
I'm going to jail.
There's a lot of illegal things. That's never stopped me before. We can get a Tanuki, but I bet you have to smuggle it in somehow.
Yeah. Do we have any listeners in Japan that are listening to this right
I
now?
think we do have a BDM in Japan.
Problem is you can't get here from anywhere now. So
No. We're shipping it. We're gonna wooden crate, drill holes in it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
We're not. He's not flying it over here. I wouldn't expect him to, buy an airline.
Give it extra.
Ooh, you want a white Tanuki? I got you one, bro.
White
Tanuki.
Whoa, he's fluffy and a tiny face.
Yeah. Although he doesn't look like a raccoon if he's white. I need the.
I want the traditional
like
mask.
That one,
yeah.
I want the brindle fur, the stubby tail, the big ass.
Yeah. And then the.
All right,
the
so they
weird
are
human
considered
hands.
to be an invasive species in the U.S., and they are one of the few animals that are illegal to import or even own in the U.S.
Well, damn.
Well, how is it an invasive species? Maybe
it eats all the raccoons and dogs.
Well, that'd be a good thing. Will they get out and then act like raccoons? But they have 4 paws. They're a canine, so it's not going to be the same. Raccoons.
Yeah, but I think at first glance, most people aren't going to know that. They're just going to think it's a raccoon.
No, but
right?
I want to know. Tom brings up a very excellent question. I
What can
want to
it
know
do?
why it's invasive.
Their tapeworms and bacteria they carry are said to be their worst impact.
Oh. So they probably infect.
We might be talking about something that could start a virus, and
Yeah.
nobody wants to do that.
Well, just don't eat it.
They
That's what DJ Khaled says.
Their presence contributes to environmental destruction due to their predation of
We the
small
best!
animals and a capacity to harbor parasites and rabies. So they carry a lot of.
It's got worms pulling out of it.
That Tanuki's got worms all over his balls.
It's all.
It's never stopped your
rabid.
mother-in-law from taking an animal.
That's true. How is
Oh.
Garage Cat? He's back, right?
Yeah, he's back. He's in there.
Good as good.
Yeah, I think.
Living the life.
Yeah. I think he's good. Eye is bigger, more mambo than ever. It is gross.
It's as big as the bottom of
picture of the mambo.
It's as big as the bottom of a soda can. He looks like Bill the cat from Bloom County. We got to take a break. Let's take one. We'll come back with more A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan right after this.